Get ready for it. Yeah, this is it. Go!
Well, hello everyone. We're coming to you from Perry Lakes in Perth, and I've got good friend and running partner Willie Richards next to me. Hi, Willie.
Hey, Kev, how are you?
Very well. Now, cheers, man.
Cheers, Kev.
It's great to see you. Willie's just come from work, and likewise, I've wandered down from home as well after a not too bad a day. I know your job's keeping you fairly busy, Willie.
It does. At the moment, I'm quite,
So this is a great
busy.
way to finish the day, just sitting here in our local park and absorbing some of the sunset and the beautiful trees and environment. So Willie, you're ex-Cape Town.
Yep.
And about, what, 6 months in Perth?
Actually, coming up to 9 months.
9 months,
Can you
wow,
believe it?
geez,
Yeah.
time flies.
Yeah.
Willie and I met at the local park run here, and
Actually was here.
it's right here, so it's very apt that we are sitting in amongst it just near the start of the park run. It is a beautiful setting, and it's really great sort of 9 months later to be doing this short interview or chat. I'm gonna have a sip of my beer. I haven't tasted it yet. It's not just for looks, eh? We got to enjoy it.
There's actually a big story behind this beer.
and you got to feed that in. So look, let's get into it, Willie. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I know we've got a little bit of a past already, so I'm sure this is not going to be that hard. So tell me about Willie the adventurer, and I'm going to catch you by surprise here, and philanthropist. So Willie the adventurer and philanthropist, I've got to be able to say that word, and also a little bit about Singletrack.
Okay. So, first of all, I am an avid runner. And actually everything outdoor, if it be running, climbing, whatever I can get my hands on. But my main discipline or favorite sport is actually running. So up to 2015, I used to race a fair amount of trail races and road races. And by luck, I fell into some stage racing trails or trail running races. And then I think it was in 2009, I just finished the Cape Odyssey, which is a 220k mountain trail race, which actually doesn't exist anymore.
All right.
That is where the idea of Singletrack was born. I just have felt that I wanted to produce a garment or a product that can speak to people that loves the outdoors and yet inspire people to head outdoors. Hence the Singletrack tag called #GetOutThere. So, but that was all in 2009, and I'd let it. That's just was a little pipe dream for that at that moment, and we created a small brand, wanted to print some t-shirts, gave it out amongst our friends, nothing big of it. And then in 2015 I did my first official major adventure challenge, which was a 581 kilometer challenge from Mossel Bay up to Franschhoek. And the initial idea was to run all the way from Mossel Bay along the coastline up to Stellenbosch, where Boschendal, the wine estate, is. And then so I ran, but it was a multi-discipline challenge. There were some areas where I had to paddle and small sections of cycling. That challenge I only maybe ran 280 odd kilometers in total. So it was a lot slower than running just a race, because you had to navigate. There's no roads where we mapped a route, and it was trying to hike the coastline. So a lot of those beach running, thick sand and whatever. But once the project or the challenge was done, I was absolutely hooked. But to get back onto Singletrack, and the reason why I'm doing it is prior me commencing the 2015 first challenge, my lovely wife Talita said to me, it's all good and well you want to do this challenge, but you need to have a reason for it. And so the reason was, she said to me, we need to attach it to something at least. And animal welfare is very dear to my heart, especially domestic animal welfare like dogs and cats, and especially back from home where I'm in South Africa, there was a lot of stray animals, especially in the township areas. So we tied up with our first charity, and that was Tin Can Town. And actually, funny enough, that charity was founded, or the main hub of that Tin Can Town is actually based in Australia. So we teamed up with Tin Can Town, and it was meant to raise funds and awareness for them. And that was our first challenge. Back then we didn't raise a lot of money, but we got a fair amount of momentum. I think a lot of people didn't think I would be able to finish the trek. So.
Well, I mean, I love just listening to what you're talking about, and I've read a bit about it, and we've spoken about it previously. So it's fascinating, and I'm sure for people watching and people who have met Willie, I think something that resonates with me, Willie, is just how you live the ethos of what you're talking about. And having met you and spent time with you, to me, getting out there is what you like to do. It's your passion. But more than that, even some of the brand and the Singletrack brand and the various elements that you brought into it, they just really resonate with me, and they resonate with how you live and how you behave. And I think that's something that's pretty special. So well done for living it. I know that you're dying to get out there and do more of it.
Most definitely.
And I know there's a heap more that you can talk about in terms of challenges you have done.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit interested in that word challenge. So tell me what, this is off the cuff now, not scripted, but where does that word challenge come from, and what does that mean to you?
So for me, a challenge is anything that's arduous and anything you would put yourself out of your comfort zone. So for me, it's all these big challenges. I think for me to date, probably the hardest challenge was the trip I did from Namibia down to Cape Town, which was 1,850 kilometers. And I ran 19 half marathons and a lot of cycling in between. So a challenge for me is purely just putting yourself out of your comfort zone completely, and then chasing down that goal. That's the hardest part for me. And then having a reason to get up for it. So most people, I always laugh when people say that I can't do this. There's no such thing as you can't. I think especially humans are extremely adaptable, and we are very resilient. And I saw it actually very much with all the animal welfare I've been involved with in the last couple of years. It's one thing you see with animals. And I think we are very similar. We are animals actually. We're just right on top.
Top of the food chain.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No, it's good. We'll talk a little bit more about that goal side of things and challenges when we talk a little bit about the beer dash. And because to me, there's some challenge in that, and you'll tell us more, no doubt, but also around the purpose of why you set it up.
Yeah.
So let's move on. Thanks for that answer. And being relatively new to Australia and to Perth, what has impressed you about running here, and what have you discovered so far?
What I've discovered so far running in Perth is, one thing is people are extremely friendly. It's quite amazing to run in a place or a trail where you don't know anybody and everybody's always greeting. The second thing that I really love is the accessibility. There's so many parks and trails all over Perth area, and I've been out a couple of times with a mutual friend of ours, Darren, into the hills. And the accessibility is amazing. It's always safe. You can just park your car, rack up your backpack, and there you go, you're off. And then there's so many options available, be it road, beach, trail, even just from here, I think 500 k's or 500 meters from here, we've got Bold Park. And you can just escape and get into there. And there's a magnitude of trails in there, which we both actually run a couple of times.
Well, and this has become your stomping ground, hasn't it? I mean, I know Bold Park, I think Willie's certainly got local legend status, and likewise with Perry Lakes, but they are two beautiful areas on our doorstep, and that accessibility is nice, for sure.
It is. I think that's maybe the highlight for me living in Perth at the moment. It's just, you don't have to go far to have a nice experience, a nice run. And look at these parks where you're sitting at the moment. It's just amazing. Just sitting here at the moment, enjoying a good beer and having the sunset in the background.
And if anything like me, you're getting munched by mozzies. It's sort of like, that's the only thing, mosquitoes and flies in Australia. But no, it is beautiful. All right, so now let's get to the crunch, Willie. You've pulled together a lovely event, and I wanted you to talk about it, and we're going to share some of the footage from this particular event and some of the photographs. It's called the Camel Lake Beer Dash by Singletrack. And so tell us, what is the Camel Lake Beer Dash, and what is the purpose behind it? And also, what are your future plans with this event? Okay,
so the Camel Lake Beer Dash was founded on the idea while I was actually running, when most of my ideas come from when I'm running. I I really love running here in Bolt Park, and it was a beautiful little section. It's a small section. I think the elevation. What is the elevation there? It's not much. It's maybe.
Yeah, not a lot.
Yeah.
I forget in meters, but it's certainly not a lot.
It's not a lot. It's not a steep or technical trail. It's actually jeep track, and so the total length of the one section is only 720 meters. So it's you run one end, you turn around, you run back, and so it gives you a little uphill run and then a nice sweet downhill and sweeping turns. And it was the idea behind it is to get people out running trail, and it's entry level trail. It's not technical at all. To show people how nice it is to run and trail, and then to invite people to come and run and enjoy something that is not hard, but they push themselves to their own extent or limits. So with it being a short distance, even a park run is for most novice runners a hard distance to do. You know, you get swept around with people dashing to run their best time in a park run, which is only 5Ks. And for you guys, preparing for the Comrades, 5Ks is nothing. And for people that run ultras, it's nothing. But for the normal runner or the guy trying to get back into running or coming back from injury, he wants to get back, but maybe he still feels intimidated. And then also the energy behind the concept, how we planned it, is to have everybody at the same time running along the same route. So even the fastest runner might be the last guy, and even the slowest runner might be the first guy out en route. So they always cross each other, motivate each other on a small section. And the format is we do a warm-up run, a warm-up lap, everybody together, and then we do random number generators. You never know what number you're going to be in. And then you start, and then you run your hardest as you can, 720, touch the board and come back, and then you get 2 turns and we'll record your best time. And the whole idea behind it is purely to motivate people to run more, to see the beauty of trail running and see the beauty of where we are living at the moment and running, and then get together as mates, have a good beer afterwards, have a good chat, laugh after the run, and it's just bringing things I enjoy doing, trail running, friendship, and then an ice cold beer afterwards.
Yeah, it's a great concept, and I must say, having attended it myself, I think all of them, Willie. I think I did miss one. Well, I was there, but I didn't run it due to injury. But certainly the beer at the end, and just getting together as a bunch of friends, and it's just fantastic. And I know we've sat around in the car park there for a fair while, as we are doing tonight here as it gets dark. But it is a fantastic concept, and I do really commend you on trying to bring different people in who are different standards. We've had some real fast runners in the last one, but we've also had people, as you say, who are just getting back into it, maybe slightly injured, and everyone runs to their own pace and ability, and it's great to see. And there's a lot of pride that people take out of it, and Willie, just your personality shines through on the evening as well. And I know you bring the family down as well, and we share some Mountain Goat beers. Have I got that right, Mountain Goat?
Oh, no,
I don't
goat.
think I've got goat.
It's just a goat.
I think of you being a mountain goat from Cape Town, but what was the story you wanted to tell about the beer?
Okay, so the idea behind the beer was we all are goats in a way, you know, we're chasing down and running and chasing ourselves. And one day I was having actually a goat, and I thought, well, how great will it be to have the goat as our beer, or the beer choice of beer after our run. So that's the reason why I tied the goat beer. So since then, every beer dash afterwards, either ginger beer for the guys don't drinking beer, and then a goat beer for the runners because they're goats.
It's a nice little shout out to the guys at Goat as well, and I don't know that you can see this because it's getting really dark, but shout out to the guys at Goat. That's a nice drop, as they say. And look, Willie, any parting comments around the beer dash and any plans that you have for in the future? More of the same, or what are your plans?
There's a couple of plans in the making. It's just at the moment my schedule is really tied up, but I just want to stay in the ethos of Singletrack, being inspiring people to head outdoors. And the main ethos behind Singletrack is seek a bond with nature to inspire change. So it's to motivate people to get outdoors, and maybe that leads to other opportunities for greater good. You know, maybe you tie up to a charity, or maybe do some fundraising for a great cause you believe in. And then the other thing is to plan maybe some bigger, longer beer dashes. There's plans of maybe a 6-hour beer dash run, which will be more for the ultra runners, but it will be multiple loops. And we're planning a hill challenge as well, maybe later this year. lots of reps up the hill to do elevational challenge. But it's long down the year. It's waiting for cooler weather and maybe the raining to come in from the winter time.
Yeah, you get plenty of that. Don't worry about that.
So we'll wait for that. Yeah, that's it. Every day I take every day as it comes, and just growing more plans and more running.
Fantastic, Willie. Well, thanks so much for making the efforts tonight to pop through after work. We're in total darkness. This has now become a podcast rather than a vlog, but it's been fantastic to meet with Willie Richards, the adventurer and philanthropist from Singletrack, and good mates in Perth. So from Running High and Singletrack jointly, hopefully you noticed the gear and the merch as well. A very good evening, and cheers from Perth.
Thanks, Jeff.
See you all later.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Boys, and the last.
Where are you?
Well done, guys.